Hello. Tell me when. Yep. Well, thank you very much for coming. I want to thank Mike Baird for his service to New South Wales. To serve as Premier of Australia's largest state is the greatest of honours. He's worked as Premier and as Treasurer of New South Wales. Today we reflect that Mr Baird's rendered substantial service to New South Wales public life. I want to wish Mike Baird and his lovely family all the best for the future. I know that some members of his family are currently battling health problems, but you know what I thought this morning? This year, Mike Baird will have the opportunity to walk his oldest daughter down the aisle. And as a father of girls, I just couldn't think of a greater privilege. So Mike Baird has much to look forward to this year and into the future. Today's the day to wish him and his lovely family all the best for the future, and I thank him for his service to our state. Happy to take your questions. You know what, I think the job for me and my team hasn't changed. To hold this government to account. I think this government needs more than a new Premier, it needs a new direction. When it comes to the key services of this state that its people rely on, they're failing. We see overcrowding in schools, declining academic standards, the gutting of TAFE, soaring hospital waiting lists, and a crisis of housing affordability. So I think this government, frankly, needs more than a new Premier, it needs a new direction.
How do you think you'll go against Gladys Berejiklian if she is the Premier?
Chris, I think the matter of the leadership of the Liberal Party is solely a matter for them. I do reflect today that they'll be on their third Premier and third Deputy Premier inside a term and a half. It's a far cry from the stable leadership they promised, but we'll wait for them to take some decisions. But I repeat, we need more than just a new Premier. The people of New South Wales need a new direction. I mean, let me say this. There's a Sydney property boom, windfall stamp duty revenues, the proceeds of record privatisation asset sales. If we can't build the schools we need now, when can we? And we're not. Overcrowding in schools, the gutting of TAFE. Look at the state of Nepean Hospital and Ballina Hospital and Bankstown Hospital. The key services that the people of New South Wales rely on are failing. So my hope is that the new Premier brings a new direction to his or her government.
But given how popular Mike Baird was and still is, your chances of winning the 2019 election are now higher?
I just think this morning when I heard the news, I thought the job for me and my team hasn't changed. To hold the government to account, to go into battle for the people of this state who rely on those core services of government. I'm in public life to stand up for those people who rely on our schools, preschools, TAFEs and hospitals as the basis for a good life for themselves and their families. That's why I'm in public life. And so the job for me, the job for my colleagues hasn't changed at all.
What do you think Gladys Berejiklian's record's been like as Treasurer, and do you think she would make a good Premier?
Well, frankly, I think she owns the debacle that's become the City and South East Light Rail project. A cover-up of the key facts until the Auditor-General revealed much before Christmas, a $500 million cost blowout to deliver a project that the locals don't want, that's rampant in its environmental destruction through that corridor, and will deliver fewer people to the city by public transport than currently get there by public transport from that part of Sydney. She is the author and owner of the South East Light Rail debacle.
And I suppose if none of these policies change and she takes up the premiership, well, nothing much changes at all, though.
Well, the challenge in my view for the new Premier is to not just be a new face, but to embark on a new direction for the state. And I make clear today Labor's priorities: addressing overcrowding in schools, declining academic standards, the destruction of TAFE, the crisis of housing affordability, soaring hospital waiting times. It's the key services that the people of New South Wales rely on that are failing under this government. As I've said before, nothing's changed for me and my colleagues this morning. We have a job to do, to stand up for the people who rely on the core services of this state, the schools, the preschools, TAFEs and hospitals. That's what we'll continue to do. I think it's been pretty clear in recent months that I've been very comfortable in my fight with Mr. Baird, but time moves on. He moves on. I thank him for his service, and my hope is that a new Premier brings a new direction and starts focusing on the key services the people in New South Wales rely on.
You must be pretty chuffed though that you've seen off Bambi.
Chris, I've been around a while. I've seen a lot in politics. I do note that this mob promised stable government. They're onto their third Premier and third Deputy Premier inside a term and a half. But I'll be here every day leading my team with a relentless focus on the services the people of this state deserve. And if we can't tackle the crisis of overcrowding in our schools now with windfall stamp duty revenues from a property boom and asset sales, when can we?
So you criticise Gladys Berejiklian. Would they be better off with Rob Stokes then? His profile's not as big, a fresh face maybe?
It's a matter for them. But what I say is the top priority for our state actually is a new direction from its government. It's not just about a new face, it's about a new direction. So I hope that the change of leadership is a circuit breaker and we get attention being directed towards the schools, preschools, TAFEs and hospitals that frankly are failing on this government's watch. Thank you very much.